Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It is Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I'm so happy to be with you here today. I have some simple stamping for you today, and we're going to have a lot of fun with it. If you are new here, or even if you're a regular, you will know that Thursday is my simple stamping day. So we take things back to the basics. Great way for all you new stampers. If you are brand new, if you're a wannabe crafter, if you haven't ever stamped before, my Thursday Facebook Live is the perfect place for you to learn some of the basics of stamping. And if you are a little bit more of a crafter, a regular crafter, well, I have something for you too, because we're going to take our simple project and then we're going to step it up. Hello there, Kim. I'm glad you're here with me today. So Thursday is all about simple and stepped up stamping. I'm going to give it just a minute to see if anybody else is going to join me live. So I always... my Facebook Live is recorded, so I am doing this as a live TV with no edits, but I do save this as a recorded demonstration here on Facebook, Facebook.com/SweetStamper, and I also download to YouTube. So if you're watching from YouTube, I welcome you and appreciate a thumbs up and a subscribe. Okay, let's get to stamping. Hello, hello there, Sherry. I wanted to briefly just remind you, this is my Cards with a Twist. This is my monthly class, and this is the August. I just released it for registration this week, and I have 8 really beautiful, soft cards for you, and I always feature one stamp set. I'm featuring Hope and Prayers now, or Hope and Prayer. Now, you don't have to have this stamp set. You can use another stamp set. You can purchase this if you're a demonstrator with your own discount. You can add it to my class. Or like I said, you may have another stamp set that you want to use. Because my designs are simple for you to substitute other stamps. But I do think this is a really lovely stamp set. I'm using it today, and so that's kind of my tie-in here. This registration is open, I believe, through the 12th. So I've just released it. This Hope Anchors the Soul. I usually do in my Cards with a Twist class, my monthly class by mail. I normally do a fun fold as well. So you do get your 8 envelopes. You get all the goodies to make your all the prepared supplies to make your cards. All your die cuts are done for you. You get a package of these gorgeous, I really love these iridescent pearls. You're going to get a roll of the seam binding. This is the soft seafoam seam binding. You're going to love using it. And you get to have a pack of this gorgeous, gorgeous Splendid Day paper. I think you're going to love working with it. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on working with it, because you do get PDF tutorials with this, and some video tips and tricks, overview, all kinds of goodies. You can get just the PDF tutorial. So that is another idea for you. Hi, Laura. I'm glad you're with me here today. So this is Cards with a Twist class by mail for August. Okay. We are going to use Hope and Prayer today. I'm going to use You Are in My Prayers. I don't know about you. I have a lot of people in my life going through some things where this is a greeting. This is why I think this is just a must-have stamp set. I snagged it when the catalog first came out, but there was so much to show, I kind of didn't really get into it until just recently. And I'm also tying it with this beautiful stamp set from Celebration. Now you can earn this for free with a $50 order, and I love the artwork in this stamp set. Let me show you. Yeah, this was a previous simple and stepped up Facebook Live I had done, and this is with the ducks. I'm going to be using the figs today. I've also done some things with the wolf. I don't know, some people call it a wolf, some people call it a fox. I'm not totally sure which one it is. I don't think, oh yeah, let's see. Here we go. So here is one example of a card I had done with the fox. I thought he was a fox here. So if anybody has an insight on that, I would love to hear it. This is also the celebration paper, 2 different sides of it that I used. And this is a great example of the fig, which I'm doing today. And I think I have one more with the fox, but I don't have it right handy, so I won't bore you while I'm looking for it. Okay, so one of the things about this stamp set is great artwork, has no greetings, and that's why I tapped into Hope and Prayer, because it's heavy on greetings. So let's see what we can do with making a little background. And honestly, the fig stamp is perfect for making a background. And I don't have the piece of cardstock I need. Lord have mercy. Okie dokie. Well, let me go grab I thought I had all my ducks in a row. No pun intended. Let me show you. I will put this out here for you to look at while I grab my cardstock really quick. I don't know what happened. Okay, here we go. I forgot one of my layers. So let's get the paper trimmer out. If you don't have the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, you definitely want to get this. It is, I think, the best one out there. I haven't come across a better one, that's for sure. And I think that it has a lot to recommend it. I'm going to go 3 3/4 here. And then I am going to go 5. So I need panels at 3 3/4 by 5, and this is crumb cake. So not a bad thing that I'm doing this on camera. I tend to not do this kind of stuff on camera just because I don't want to bore you. But I do recognize, especially with this being my simple and stepped up stamping, that it might be a good thing to go through some of these basics of cutting, because it's what, you know, it's the essentials of what we do. Everybody needs to be able to cut their paper. So we'll do a little bit of that. Okay. Let's see. So Kim says she thought it was a wolf, but I also thought your ducks were geese. Well, you know, I think it kind of is up for interpretation. I made these into mallard ducks, and I will say, I showed a friend of mine that was at my crafting retreat this weekend, and she works for Parks and Wildlife. She thought my mallard ducks were pretty amazing. So, you know, there you go. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do 2 of these because I'm going to do a simple and a stepped up version. Now, I would typically be putting crumb cake ink on crumb cake cardstock, but, you know, true confessions. Can I find my crumb cake ink pad? No. You know the way I roll. If you've been here very long with me at all, you know that this is just the way I roll. Now I'm going to do kind of alternating, positions with my figs, and that keeps it from looking too matchy-matchy, and I think that this ends up looking like toile fabric. And at first I thought that little squiggle was, you know, where I had over-stamped, but it's not. It's actually part of the little design. So I think that looks pretty good. Now Sherry's telling me it's a fox. So I've seen him done with, you know, shades of like Cajun Craze and shades of Calypso Coral, which made me think he was a fox. But then somebody said he was a wolf, so, you know. I think some of these things are a little bit open for interpretation. However, the people who are really experts on wildlife, yeah, they're not open for interpretation. They want the real thing. And I totally get being accurate. Okay, so I have done Sahara Sand, which is actually a cooler version of crumb cake. Don't think you can tell too much here. Okay. Now, I am going to layer this on a piece of, this is Pacific Point, and again, I'm doing simple stamping. This is going to be stamps, ink, and paper. That's all we're going to use. And we're going to make a really pretty card. One of the things I like about this, I think I'm going to go this way, is the color scheme I'm using is very neutral. And I don't have anything froofy here, so I could easily send this to a man saying that he's, you are in my prayers. I know that we just had a death in the family. My husband's uncle just passed, and this would be a great card. You are in my prayers, and then, I can write something on the inside. It doesn't have to be a full-on sympathy card to be appropriate when you have somebody facing loss. So Sherry, you have a lot of foxes around you. Okay, well then we have a lot of coyotes around us. I'm in South Texas, so that's the way we roll. Okay, now I'm going to take a little strip of this Pacific Point, and I'm actually going to stamp it not in Pacific Point and not in black. I'm going to stamp it in Early Espresso because this is a dark, like a dark version of crumb cake, and I'm wanting to keep that warm tone there. Believe it or not, when you stamp it on this dark cardstock, it looks different than when you stamp it in black. So there is You Are in My Prayers. Now, hello, Diane. I'm glad you're here with me, and you're liking the blue. This is called Pacific Point. Every time I've ever used Pacific Point, people absolutely love it. Now, I stamped a little bit high, so I'm going to just flip that over. It's a little bit high. People love this color. Men like it. Women like it. It's just a really gorgeous color. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to tear this edge, and then I'm going to actually layer it on a piece of soft suede. So one of the things that, when you're doing simple stamping, this is just stamp, ink, and paper, is you don't want to skimp on the paper. You want to make sure that you're using enough cardstock to get a really, really nice, luxurious look. And lots of layers is one of the things that really helps our cards to stand out. So there we go. You Are in My Prayers. Super, super simple. I'm going to pop this up on dimensionals. And I could make a lot of these. If you have a card ministry in your church, if you like to send out cards to people who are just struggling, if you need to, send cards to somebody in a hospital, you could make a bunch of these very, very quickly. You Are in My Prayers. Now, I will say, I think we'll do one more little thing, and we're going to take this fig right here to the inside. But we'll do it up here like this. And that just kind of finishes it off. You Are in My Prayers. Okay, now let's step this up a little bit and see what we can do to just add a little something, something to it. I'm not going to add very much because I honestly think, I would probably add a little bit of, not bling, but a little bit of embellishment there to make it a little bit extra, just to elevate it just a bit. So that's really all I'm going to do here is I'm going to elevate it just a bit. I'm going to use these same elements. So Sue Ann, good for you. You just sent 24. You just spread some sunshine into this world and some care. I'm going to take this and I'm going to rumple it up really, really good. I haven't done this in a long time. Used to do this a lot. When I first started stamping and I didn't have a whole lot of all the goodies and all the, extras, we used to do some of these things. Now, you just want to ball it up really good. And what's going to happen is it's going to break down the fibers and just give it a very nice roughened look. Now, I'm going to take the back side and I'm going to smooth it because I don't want it sticking up too much from my card. Now let me grab, I do recommend putting this down with liquid glue. Well, yeah, let's see, I can probably do with this. Let's see, I just don't want it to, oh yeah, that's going good. But I'm going to go all the way around the edges because, although that one I think I'm going to leave. So I'm going to purposely turn this edge up a little bit. And that is going to give me a really nice, rugged, vintagey look. And I think it's going to be just perfect. I think I'm going to put it, yeah, I think I'm going to put it down in that corner. So all I did was I rumpled my paper really well, and you can feel it softening up in your hands when you just over and over just keep rumpling it up. And then I smoothed it out, and then I made sure that I used a fair bit of adhesive to stick it down. But I am going to leave a couple of corners just a little bit turned up to really emphasize that look. Now I'm going to take my same greeting here. You are in my prayers. I probably should have stamped both of these at the same time. And we're just going to bring this up just a wee bit. You are in my prayers. You know what's great about this font and everything is, again, it's very neutral in font. I could send this to a man or a woman very easily. It's not like fussy or froofy or feminine, so that really increases the versatility of what I'm doing. So let's do that, and then we are going to pop that right here. And honestly, you know, the technique I just did with the rumpling up the paper and the tearing the paper, these are really simple stamping. I mean, this is not anything but stamp, ink, and paper. But you see the difference between the two. Maybe I should go this way. So here's my simple, and then I've stepped it up a little bit. I'm going to step it up with a little bit more because I want to put a little bit of ribbon there or some embellishments. So let's see what we can come up with. Can't find my scissors. Let's see, here we go. There is this particular ribbon is in our holiday catalog, and I think it's called threaded twine, silver threaded twine. So I thought, you know, it's a little bit thick, but I'm going to try to run some underneath, and this is actually going to become my, it's probably more than I need. This is going to become my dimensional. See, when I put it is quite thick, but it's about the same thickness as dimensionals. So I think what I'm going to do is, in keeping with my torn edges and everything, I'm just going to do a little bit like that. And I think it's going to go, yeah, I think that's going to be pretty good. So maybe just a little bit too long. And just kind of fray the ends, and that's going to release some of that silver thread. Just give me just a wee bit of shine without being, you know, without being fussy or fancy or anything like that, because I don't really want that on this kind of a card. Now I'm going to take my mini glue dots, and I'm going to put one here, and I'm going to put another one here. Well, let's see, is it going to grab there? Yeah. Let's put another one over here. And let's stick this down. Haha. You can feel how that just grabs really nicely. Okay, let's go with one more. Well, you know what Candy did, of course. She used her pick a tool and didn't put it back. Where is it? I did put it back. It's right in front of me. Let's get one more glue dot. And let's put it under here to anchor that. And then I'm going to put a couple more glue dots right on my little tag. Now, do I want to go over there? Yeah, I think I'm going to bring it all the way over. Maybe I need to lift this. Yeah, I should have left it alone. No, I think it's going to lift. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that kind of tore right there. But it kind of goes with my whole torn and rumpled look on this card, so I can get away with it. Yeah, I think that's going to be better by putting it right up against there. So what I'm going to do is grab a few of these little guys here and just help this tag my little greeting tag to stick to this thick twine, because it's not too thick to still go for a single stamp. Ooh, I think I'm spitting on here when I'm talking. Okay, let's see. There we go. What do we think? Do we like the little, no, it needs to be pulled. I can tell that's going to need a little anchoring. Even with that, it's going to need a little bit of a dimensional under it. Let's stick a dimensional under there. Oh, there we go. There we go. And I'm going to put one right under there to anchor it just a little bit more. And then, let's fray that a wee bit more. And then I'm going to put a couple of little, I could kind of bring a little bit of light to my project by putting some of these little sparkly gems, or I think this is going to be better. It's really kind of coming together with a little bit more of a masculine vibe, and I'm liking it. So let's just fray that a wee bit more. And let's see. Let's add another dimensional under there. And again, this is super simple stamping, but this gives you another idea to go with the card kit that I'm sending out this month for Cards with a Twist, monthly class by mail. There we go. Featuring hope and prayer. Now, let's put some of these on here, and I think this is really going to dress it up. Yeah. Let's go here. And then we'll take one of these little ones down here. And I think we'll probably add a couple more over here just for balance. One there. Hey, it's so nice to see you, Mary. It has been ages since I've seen you in person or on camera. So welcome, welcome. It's great to see you. I don't like that. There we go. That's better. Okay, so there we go. We have simple and stepped up stamping using a free stamp set, free with Celebration, which is, where's my stamp set? Here we go. Stylish Sketches is here. And here is, this was simple and stepped up stamping a couple weeks ago with the ducks. And this is a swap I actually made using the fox. And thank you for the clarification, Sherry, that it is a fox and not a wolf. And then this is my fig. I'm using the fig branch today. And I'm incorporating hope and prayer because there are no greetings on this stamp set. So once again, this is simple and stepped up stamping. I actually like both versions. This is definitely more rustic with the crumpled paper and the little edges. This is a little bit more clean, but I like the color scheme a lot. And like I said, I could send this to a man really easily, or a woman. And it's just a great masculine color combination. When you use these two blues, Balmy Blue and Pacific Point, great combination for the guys. And then when you put in Soft Suede and Crumb Cake, yeah, you've got a really nice look. So just one more reminder as I sign off that Cards with a Twist monthly class is up for registration through the 12th, and using the same stamp set, Hope and Prayer. Of course, you could use a stamp set that you already have, because all of these punched shapes and the stitch dies, the dragonflies, the vellum dragonflies, all of that comes with your card kit by mail. First class shipping is included. You get your 8 envelopes. You get your iridescent pearls. You get this gorgeous seafoam seam binding ribbon, and half a pack of this gorgeous, gorgeous Splendid Day paper. Yeah, I'm definitely in love with this paper. It's a little bit addicting to use, has a really bright finish, that mirror finish, but then it has this white like embossing on it, and then the flip side is these very soft matte patterns. So there's a lot to love with the paper. $39 kit, and that does include shipping, available for registration through the 12th. Remember, we have a few new items for Celebration. We have 2 items that have already sold out, so we have some new ones. These are actually all items that are in our annual catalog or our holiday catalog. I think most of these are annual. This is holiday. So the green symbol indicates you have a $100 spend, and you can choose one of these for free, or the others that we have. And let me just grab that really quick. Yeah, there it is. So, and then these with the yellow symbol, they are free with a $50 spend. So just briefly, I'm going to go over the hippos, which I did Tuesday. I made my grandson's birthday card that is in the mail on its way to Virginia. I did a super cute birthday card for a boy with the hippos and the dies. These are free with $50. You can add the dies with another $50 spend. This paper is free with a $50 spend, and that's retail before tax and shipping. These have sold out. These cards and envelopes have sold out. This stamp set that I used today is free with a $50 spend. This paper is very pretty. This is a 6x6 stack with gold and silver foiling. That's free with a $50 spend. This very large greeting stamp set, which I used on my grandson's birthday card, that is free with a $100 spend. These Tree Lot dies have sold out. So they are featured with a stamp set that is in the holiday book, and that is not sold. That will continue to be available. But these dies, we won't get them back in. And then almost to the end of the Celebration choices. So this paper and stamp set combination is free as a bundle with a $100 spend. Beautiful projects with that. And then last but not least, if you have a $300 order, that means you're placing a $300 order, or maybe you've gathered some friends, got a couple of friends who are putting an order in with you. You get this absolutely free on top of your host rewards. Lovely stamp set called Perfect Pomegranate. I'm going to be working with that soon right here on Facebook Live. And of course, the very best bundle, the very best thing that you can get with Celebration, is it in our book? I hope on the last page. Ah, yes. The very best offer is the joining kit, the joining offer. So this is for $99 plus tax. You get this gorgeous, gorgeous journal with notebooks and a stamp set. All of that is a $40 value. It's all free. And you choose $125 of whatever you want, and you only pay $99 plus tax. Now, here in Texas, we have tax-free weekends starting tomorrow. If you put items in your starter kit that are tax-free, you don't even pay tax. So that is definitely something to consider. If you want to get a bunch of blends, they're on the tax-free list. The markers are on the tax-free list. The scissors are adhesives. So if you need to stock up on some of those basics, if you maybe haven't you haven't ever developed your blends or your markers collection, it's a great time to do it. And then you only pay $99. You don't even pay tax. Now that will depend on the state that you are in, whether or not they have the tax-free items. Kim, the DSP was sold out. It's back in as of Monday. It may be sold out again. If it is, it wasn't this morning. I was putting in orders this morning and it was not. So I know that they got another shipment in at the weekend. So it came back on Monday. So we are continuing to monitor things. And, I tell you what, the economy is challenged in so many ways with inflation and things. But, what we do here is it makes us feel good. And so we spread love and cheer to the world around us, which is really lost and hurting. And we also get a big feel good when we create things like this. Okay, that is it for today. Be sure to sign up for my Cards with a Twist class by mail and have a great weekend. Don't forget, I will be back here with you on Tuesday at 4. So be sure to set your notifications so you get notified when you like my page here on Facebook. And you set your notifications, it will tell you, remind you when I'm going to be live. And of course, if you can't join me live, I do record. Thanks again for joining me. Take care and God bless.